Hey everybody, Janae Spry here with Crush Conversions. I am a growth strategist and productivity expert and the founder of the Doer Entrepreneurs Group. So today I'm coming at you with a really short video, really short tip, but it's also really a to-do list game changer. So I'm not going to take too much of your time today, but I really encourage you to implement this. If you never have, it's going to really change a lot of things for you. And even if you have, I think that it's time to check that out again. So a lot of people have done time blocking before, have done sort of scheduling before, but when it comes to their to-do list, it's just a giant list of items. And some people will tell you that you want to try to make those items kind of the same equivalent size. So they're all 10-minute items, they're all whatever, but that's just not realistic for a lot of people if we're being honest. So what I'm going to talk to you today is called time tagging. So what time tagging does is it lets you at a glance sort of know how full your day is. And what that does is it sort of prevents you from overscheduling yourself or sort of thinking that you have more time in your day than you do, or even just adding more items than you're really thinking through and doing it really, really quickly. So I'm going to show you what this looks like in the app that I use called ClickUp. ClickUp, and I'm going to shoot you my link above. If you use that, I think you might get something. I don't know. Anyway, I'll provide you the link above. But anyway, I really love ClickUp for this. It also allows automations, which is really cool. But I really just want to kind of show you what this looks like. So I'm going to share my screen, my actual to-do list here. So there you go. You should be able to see it now. So in this section, labels, I've got a column, and you'll see that I have a 5-minute tag here and a 30-minute tag here. They're also different colors, so it's really easy to visually just see this kind of immediately. And 5-minute, as you might guess, means that it's a 5-minute task. Now, I'll be honest, it's not necessarily a 5-minute task. It can go up to about 10 minutes, but basically it's something that's pretty quick, right? It doesn't require a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of thought. So I tag those 5 minutes. If it goes above 10 minutes, then I'm probably going to tag it 30 minutes. Now there's a reason that I don't do like 5, 10, 15, like we want to make sure that our systems are working for us and not just another ththing that we have to do that slow us down. So this means it's a pretty quick thing. I can knock that off, boom, 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 pretty quick. 30 minutes means that there's going to be a little extra thought involved, a little extra time intensive, that type of thing. And then you'll see that some of them have nothing. Nothing basically means that it's either unknown or it's probably either needs to be an entire time block or it's going to be a little bit longer than 30 minutes. So what that means is that if I'm looking at this, so this is my week, then I know that this day, this is a pretty heavy day because I have 3 items which are not tagged either 30 minutes or 5 minutes. So there's probably no room in my day for other things if I do this. I may need to move something to a different day. It could also mean that I have something in there for review. And in this case, that's true. So one of the things in here, this item right here, is here because I had thought of it over the weekend and I just needed to put it on my list so that I took a minute to review it. If you wanted to, you could also add that as a tag here too. And then if I had extra time, I was going to spend time on this actual item. So 30 minutes, I have one 30-minute task, one task right here. This is actually also a review task. So 5 minutes, 30 minutes, and a review task. This is a very light day, right? So I'm going to be having some time to actually put forth to work on some things. Same thing here. This is really light. So it allows you in just a couple of seconds to know what you're in for the day and rearrange things if you need to before you get overwhelmed. And also, if you're one of those people that feels like you're really making an effort to be productive and be organized and somehow things still keep going wrong, this could be your issue, right? So adding a time tagging aspect to, and again, I said before in the description of this that I was going to explain how you could use it for paper. You could even just use different color highlighter. You could use a star for one and a check mark for the other. So you could use different symbols. I would not recommend, as I said before, adding a whole bunch of different numbers to this, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 30, so on. If it's above 30 minutes, something like this that's urgent is probably also scheduled. So for example, I have catch up on email as one of my tasks that's on here. That's actually also on my time block schedule because I spend about an hour. And for a task that's about an hour, I'm not going to leave it to chance that I'm just going to find an hour in my day to spend on something. Like that's a significant amount of time to just happen across in your day, especially when you're having to work in client work and all of that. So definitely put that also on your calendar. It's another reason why I don't have a tag for it, but if that works for you, go ahead. Just make sure it's something that's manageable. But I really recommend, again, just a 5-minute tag and a 30-minute tag and see how it goes for you. I actually just started with only the 5-minute tag, and just that was like a game changer because, I'll show you this. Down here, you'll see that this day, and some of these are repeating events, so this day actually has, it says 6 right here, but it actually has about 10 to 12 tasks that appear because some of these are repeating, so they only appear once they're completed earlier. So I was looking at that and I was like, oh my God, what have I done to myself? But then once I started this tagging, I realized that 9 out of them were 5-minute tasks. Like they were all these super short tasks. So I could like kind of calm down and be like, okay, I didn't actually go crazy. But if I wasn't using time tagging, what would have happened is, as a productivity focused person, I would have been like, okay, I've overscheduled myself. How can I move this to make this a more even schedule across the days? But I didn't need to do that. It was totally fine because I was scheduling myself just with these 5-minute tasks that I could probably knock out in like 2 hours, and then my entire day was free after that. So sometimes just because you have a lot of things on your to-do list, it doesn't mean you have a heavy day. And sometimes just because you only have 1 or 2 things on your to-do list, you actually have a really heavy day. So it's really important to make the differentiation between these things. I'm going to switch back to my iPad here so I can actually write this because I think it's like that important. Okay, so again, I think that the tags you need are 5 minutes, okay, 30 minutes. And then you want to consider if the task is something that is only there because you want to review it and then schedule it or figure out kind of what you want to do with it. Or you might work on it a little bit, but that's another part. So 5 minutes, 30 minutes, review, and then longer, basically, just longer. And for longer, you may also want to put that on your calendar to make sure that you've really scheduled that out and make sure that it happens. Before I started using ClickUp, if the task was in this longer category, I actually would not put it on my to-do list. It would only go on my calendar. But the reason that I now put it both in ClickUp and on my calendar is that I'm also using ClickUp as sort of a project management tool. So I take that project and break it down into different pieces. So I'm really using ClickUp to manage, the fact that my goal is this big, huge thing, and I've broken it down and I want to track the progress against that. And then in addition to that, ClickUp literally has a goal tracker, and you can actually put in, my goal is to reach this revenue, or my goal is to whatever, and then you can incrementally check those things off and use this as a tracking tool. So these are sort of the 4 categories that I have: 5 minutes, 30 minutes, review, and longer. These 2 are the only ones that I technically tag, but you can absolutely tag these as well. And if you are going to use ClickUp, labels is what you want to look for. And you can even actually set an automation where it will do both the label and the tag, which is pretty cool. So just really quickly. So this is the label right here. And then you'll see over here, there's a tag. So the tag is actually 5 min, right? So what that does is in ClickUp, you can actually set that up as an automation. So I just click 5 minutes and then it appears over here. So if I were to do that for this one, click 5 min, and then it will actually tag it over here. See, it's just appeared right there. So you can actually set that up as an automation so that you have it in both locations and you can just visually see, oh, there's a lot of pink. That must mean that it's, pretty light. Maybe I should really push myself and get some more done. So those 4 categories are really, really important. 5 minutes, 30 minutes for a view, and then longer where you want to really put that on your calendar and carve out that time. So I hope that helps you. Let me know in the comments if you tried something like this before, whether it worked, didn't work. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help you out. Thanks, guys. Bye.